everybody. Today I viewed a webinar entitled Best Practices Are Not Always the Best Practice. Now, without walking you through the whole thing, I want to share two of the many very important points that were made. The first is a prevalent best practice idea that the best sales reps are those that exhibit a certain aggressive, challenging approach to their prospects. And if you're in sales or if you're managing a sales team and either you or people on the team don't exhibit those characteristics, then you got to change. However, when you examine the data, it's just not as compelling as you're led to believe. And this is also a very seller-centric view to sales and marketing. And through the science of decision making, we know that what's important is not how you sell, but it's how buyers make decisions. And when sellers apply decision-making science to their messaging and to their sales skills, they have a lot more success. Now, the second point I want to make plays on the first. Best practice sales marketing thought was, and in many circles it still is, that messaging should be the same across all sales interactions, whether you're in new account pursuit or existing account retention. And that message is all about challenging your client or your prospect. Decision-making science shows that's just wrong. The message to a prospect, someone that's either already doing business with your competition or doing something themselves rather than utilizing an external expert like you, is one that must disrupt their status quo bias, that most human tendency to not want to change. However, if you're working with an existing client and you're looking to renew or even expand an existing relationship, the last thing you want to do is try and disrupt their status quo. You want to, in fact, reinforce it. And that's a much different conversation and requires different messaging and different skills. Sellers that recognize and practice these different approaches, they're winning more than their fair share of business. Sellers that aren't, they're struggling. They're being forced to compete only on price, or they're just plain losing business and market share. If you want to learn more, send an email to the following address with best practices in the subject line. And as always, thanks for watching.